Hello, everybody.
Blog Talk Radio.
This is Dr. Carol Francis from Make Life Happen. So glad you could join us today with Teresa Joyce. And Teresa, hello. How are you this morning?
Hello, Carol. I'm very good, thank you. It's actually evening here in England at 6 o'clock, but yeah, I've had a good day.
Well, good. I'm glad I didn't get you out of bed in the middle of the night. Yes, you're from, what part of England are you from, Joyce?
I live in a town called Bristol, and to be honest, most of my interviews are done in the States, so I'm used to staying up late at night, so this is a nice, refreshing change for me.
Well, thanks for joining us. You know, listeners, this is truly an amazing treat for us. She is an individual that I have followed on Facebook, and we've connected a bit, and I've just been so impressed by the level of vulnerability and expressiveness, Teresa, that you share in those medias. And I know that that's part of what you're wanting to convey, is that it seemed like it became time to share a story, your story, and I know it must have been very, very painful, that in order to help you and help others. And can you begin to tell us a bit about your story?
Yeah, okay. If I try to put it sort of in caption, I guess, it's about abuse, about mental health, and about recovery. Those are three key sort of figure points out there. My story ranges from when I was a child up into my adulthood, where the memories as a child were suppressed, which I didn't actually remember, obviously, because they were suppressed until there was a trigger point that happened in my life as an adult that caused that to happen. So the book is about that, really, but the childhood abuse is a sort of something that didn't come to the fore until I became an adult and those trigger points were made.
So tell us the title of the book. So people that are listening, you can look it up online right now and order it. So tell us the title of the book.
Yeah, the name of the book is There's a Fine Line.
There's a Fine Line. And
There's
the reason for the title is?
Okay, I didn't actually choose a title until I ended or finished the book. Basically, I didn't know quite what to call it. And I sort of things rushing around in my head, and then I sort of realized that there was a very fine line that I walked, and there was a very fine line that my stepfather had also walked. His was on the side of insanity, and mine was on the side of sanity. I'm sure, I nearly crossed over to his side of the line so many times because of the pressures and the things that was going on in my life regarding him. So, yeah, that sort of means a lot to me because it was a very, very fine line that I stayed on, to be honest with you. I nearly did go right over with him.
Wow. Well, Teresa, I feel like there's this this huge ostrich egg of information that you have inside of you to share with everybody. And I'm so eager to have that disclosed so that people will be able to go, oh, yeah, I know what she's going through, or, oh, wow, yeah, wake up to what's been driving them that they don't know. Or just to be sympathetic for people that have gone through this and really get it, as opposed to just kind of being perplexed by it. So to walk us through the path you want us to walk through as those who listen want to recover, or they're wondering what's going on in their life.
Okay, that's a big one, really, because recovery is what we're all sort of striving for, and I don't think sometimes we find it that easily or that quickly. I went for many years without finding someone I could connect to or, relate to, which is a very big word because throughout our lives, whatever we do in different scenarios, we find we can relate to some people and we can't to others. For me, for many years, that was the case. My book is really because of the person I met, which was a psychiatrist that I eventually came in contact with, that sort of said to me, if we can't be in session or there's thoughts going on in your head that you can't deal with, write them down. And that's how my book started. There wasn't sentence properly or paragraphed. It was just words of me venting, sort of getting my emotions sort of out there, really. And at some point, I started to make sense of it. Sentences were being made and paragraphs were sort of forming. And then I sort of realized how therapeutic it was for me. And at that point in time, I pressed delete and thought, okay, I need to write this as a book because I know there's others out there that really need this help. And I knew it was working, so that was how it happened, really.
And that's the reason that you decided to share your story, or was it something very personal as well?
Yeah. For many years, I was looking for recovery. There was a very big factor in my life that changed things for me. I mean, meeting that psychiatrist was one sort of main factor, but the one that really made me feel as though I was glad I was still on this side of life was my grandson. I mean, when he was born, I remember sitting one day here with him asleep on my lap, and his little hand sort of wrapped around my finger, and I sort of looked down at him and thought, this is a miracle of life. I could have missed this if I hadn't made that decision to heal